Yeah.
So
we're ready.
Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to WCEG TalkRadio.com. We are the Worldwide Community Empowerment Group. You can catch us on all social media platforms. You can even tell Alexa, play WCEG Talk Radio. My name is Pennye Rogers, and I will be the host for the next hour here on Upwardly Mogul, where we speak life into the community. I have two wonderful young ladies joining me today. We have Miss Ency and we have Debbie. They're going to join us and tell us about their fabulous organization. And I want to make sure I get this correct. FlourishHer. FlourishHer?
Yeah.
I think I got it, ladies. Welcome to WCEG.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pennye.
Yes, I will not go into your bio because I want to use as much time as I can to be able to allow my audience to find out who you are. So if we can start with Miss Ency, will you tell us, our audience, who you are? And we will, once you take your stance, then we will have Miss Debbie to tell us who she is and what you ladies do.
Thank you so much, Miss Pennye. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening to the listeners, because we know we are international. My name is Ency Samkelisiwe Litsoane, all the way from South Africa, Cape Town. I am an entrepreneur. I always start there. I've got a guest house in Cape Town, but my passion, I am a president for FlourishHer Qhakaza Foundation. That's where my heart is. And I've been looking after girls and women for more than 20 years. But this nonprofit organization is brand new. We launched it last year. Lovely being here. Thank you for having us here.
You are welcome. I just and just before Miss Debbie comes on for us, I would just like to let our audience know that we are culminating Black History Month, but we are launching into Women's History Month. And I thought it would just be an awesome idea to include both of those themes to introduce and to have you ladies on WCEG Talk Radio. I must also give our disclaimer for our audience that the topics and opinions of those of the show host and guest and not the WCEG Network. So if you got a problem, I own the station, so call me, we can talk about it. Amen. So here we go. Miss Debbie, please tell us who you are and why are you here today?
Okay, my name is Debbie Young. I'm a resident in Florida, but I'm currently in Georgia. Of course, I'm a member of the Atlanta Black Chamber, but first by trade, I'm an insurance broker for First Liberty Insurance Agency. I write property and casualty, business insurance of all type, the size, and yeah, I also do personal lines as well, but I focus mainly on commercial insurance, and I've been in business since 2008. My office is located in Port St. Lucie, Florida, but we are licensed in many states across the United States, so we can write business just about anywhere. And I'm here because I happened to visit Africa for the first time last year in March, and I met this lovely lady, Ency. Yes, and she's unforgettable. Of course, once you meet her, you can't forget her. Yeah, I've met a lot of people when I visited Africa, and I was a part of the Atlanta Black Chamber's Global Opportunity. So I've met a lot of people who wanted to do business here in the United States, and I have a stock of cards. But when Ency reached out to me and she explained the FlourishHer mission, I immediately got on board, and together we were able to form the corporation from based in Florida, in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So yes, like she said, we're brand new, and it's just something that really, it touched my heart, and I felt like this was more than anything else that I've done. I have a for-profit corporation, but the nonprofit, and to be able to help or change someone's life, I'm on board, and I'd love to do it with Ency. So that's why I'm here today.
Wonderful, wonderful, and welcome to WCEG and Ency. We will welcome you here to Atlanta. Both of you ladies are visiting our fair city here where we are based, but our platform is worldwide. So no matter where you are located in this global community, we speak life into the community. So we would like to get started with some of your background on the organization to tell us your story, her story. You know, we're talking Black history, but we're talking Black her story, okay? And so if Miss Ency, if you could, I know you said you've been in the business for 20 years with the your community efforts to help the young ladies, to help the young women. I would like for you to go into a little bit more detail as to what can we do and how can we assist you with your efforts, with your mission.
Excellent, excellent. Just to echo Debbie's words, we are in Atlanta at the moment, and we came because of the Atlanta Black Chamber, the Black Expo, because I am the regional lead for South Africa. And I was for the GOC, for the Global Opportunities Committee. And it has been a pleasure that we always bring women. And all that was given birth because they came to South Africa as a delegation in last year. So just taking it back, I'm going to take it back straight to Flourish. While we're doing it, I am a rural girl. And by birth, I'm from Swaziland and Hlangano. And growing up was not that easy like any other rural girl when it came to period poverty. So for me, the story comes very deep because it's a story that hit my heart when I realized that it looks normal, but it's not normal. We used to use cloth for white cloth when we're having our menstrual cycle. Yes. And my mother was a teacher, and she used to use cloth as well as a teacher. I'm sure it's because she couldn't afford it. She had too many children. We were 6 of us at home, and we had cousins and everybody staying with us. So I understood that that was the process we all had to take. We soon graduated to using one-ply toilet paper. And all I can say is that it was the hardest for a girl because nobody speaks about menstruation. Nobody speaks about what we are going to be going through. So giving birth to Flourish, I'm going to read that story at the end of the presentation or end of the broadcast. But to sum it all, FlourishHer is something that has always been deep within. And it comes in 3 tiers. I'm going to leave the first tier. The second tier is about skills development because the first tier will dwell on it. The second tier is about skills development. We feel that our girls need to be fully empowered. And so that's what I've been doing for more than 20 years. I've been teaching them personal development. I've been coaching them to live a life of purpose. And that's the second tier that we've been hammering on. The third tier says, you know what? It's just not about purpose. We want to make sure this youth is upskilled in leadership programs so that we can feed the entrepreneurs in the third tier. So we work with entrepreneurs. So we are saying, I'm going to give a simple example about Ezanele. I'm going to give them a name. That Ezanele goes to school, has no idea who she is. We distribute sanitary pads. We don't say a word. It's not enough. So we distribute sanitary pads. We train them. For those that couldn't go to university or college, then we do what? We do what we call a learnership program for them to be upskilled in something. Let it be plumbing. Let it be engineering. Let it be anything. Like FlourishHer is a manufacturing company, so we will definitely absorb a lot of those that are in the engineering space and work with them. Then we support entrepreneurs at the end of the day. We've already placed over 250 students in formal employment as FlourishHer because the learning of the youth is very, very important, besides just on period poverty.
I do appreciate the information, and what I would like for us to do now, I know we have your flyer with the information for Fund a Girl Child. Would you close out your screen so we can see your beautiful faces up close? Can we get your screen share off? And
Sure.
I will add the flyer to my screen now so that I want to see more of you close up. Great, there we go. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's see. So now, Miss Debbie, what role as director do you play in this mission for the girls, for the young ladies?
Well, I'm the treasurer for FlourishHer Qhakaza Foundation. Of course, I do have a background in financial literacy. As you know, I'm an insurance broker, so I've dealt with all sort of finance. I'm also an not insurance, but real estate investor in Florida. And I would love to help to, of course, educate in the women and girls globally on investment and how to save and also invest in real estate or insurance, whatever it is they choose.
Oh, wonderful. So the entrepreneur spirit is flowing into both the organizations of the mission that you do with Flourish Her, as well as what you do on a daily basis. So that is expertise. That is your guide, your hands-on training, as well as just giving them something else to be able to master in their lifetime. You can take those skills and use them even in the entrepreneur world as well. And I think that's wonderful. So can you ladies tell us how a person can get involved with the organization? Is it just for the young girls that's in your communities at home? Or is it something that's global? Is it worldwide? Tell me a little bit more. How can a person get involved outside of being in Africa where you are?
Excellent. What's nice is this is a global business. So we are distributing sanitary pads to girls for free. So how you can lock arms with us, you can fund a girl. We've got a campaign that we do. We say fund a girl for $20 for one girl for a year, or fund a girl or girls, 5 girls for $100. So you can be part of this globally. In your own community, like Debbie is in Florida, we've already locked arms with a couple of non-profit organizations that we will work through. So we're raising money to make sure that we distribute the sanitary pads in different communities in South Africa and in United States or globally. We are not limited.
Wonderful. Well, can you tell me, because as I was reading over your information, I wanted to find out, there were a couple of questions that came up where you were mentioning about I see the person, okay, you want to raising funds to purchase, you said equipment and supplies. And I know that some of the supplies would include the sanitary pads or personal hygiene. Can you tell me what type of equipment that you use or that would be needed when you say equipment?
Okay, so we would like to be the manufacturer of the product. So this way we're not limited to, because we're going to have to give this, so we want to make sure they receive the pads for free. So we want to be able to manufacture the products and be able to supply, purchase whatever, the equipment that's needed to get everything together to present each girl with at least a 1 year supply at a time, per girl. So this way they don't have to be lacking or wondering where they're going to get their next supplies next month. So we'd like to do it on annual for each girl.
Wonderful. The manufacturing part, that's even more exciting there, that you can produce your own products. So now, based on that bit of information, there's a young lady who is now in college, that she was a radio show host from a little girl, probably less than 10 years old, and now she's in college, away from home, but she was in the business of the sanitary products. And hers were a little different than the normal ones that we have to buy in the store commercially. And so if an organization wanted to donate pads, is that possible?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we do accept pads. As a matter of fact, we've got an organization that donated yesterday
Yes.
their own pads that we can give away right here in Atlanta. So we do accept donations. The reason why we're going the manufacturing way is more so, number one, unemployment rate is really high in South Africa. So we really want to employ as many
Yes.
possible. So if we don't do it ourselves, we will not manage to grow exponentially. So we rather manufacture and make sure that we make the product ourselves. And more so, we want to know what's in it.
Thank you.
It's either what did we put in it, because we really worry. A lot of women are suffering with a lot of conditions at this moment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We need to be sure that we know exactly we're putting the right materials to make those pads.
And that's what was my genesis behind mentioning this young lady. Her name is Winter Avery, Winter with a Y, okay? But that's how she introduced herself and let her know that how her name is spelled. But she had a product that was safe for females to use. It didn't contain some of the other things that maybe some of the major manufacturers may use. And we're not talking about anybody. We're just talking about what we're talking about, but we have to be careful of all the, not just the environmental part of it, but just what is going next to our bodies, what we're putting. And because I was reading your story and it brought me to tears, just knowing some of the conditions. And just even being here in the States all my life, but just having to go through that time in my life when I first started my ministration, it was horrifying for me. And I'm here with all the things that we need, but having that to happen, you're sitting in school, you have on a pair of white pants or white shorts, and then you feel this, as you described. And it was like, and then it took me 2 or 3 days before I could tell my mother, because, we're not educated. People didn't talk about it. It's taboo to talk about. So I can't even imagine what you had to go through. And if you would please share your story, it would really help a lot of people, no matter where they are. We all have had some sort of the thing to happen, the womanhood to happen to us. At an inconvenient time, but then not even having what you need to take care of yourself.
Just to make sure I don't waffle, I'm going to read it for you. I put it in this way that says, her tears were silent, but her pain was loud. I was just a young girl full of dreams and ambitions, but every single month I faced a battle that no child could ever have to endure. I remember the humiliation like it was yesterday, sitting in a class, my heart pounding, as if the warmth of blood slipping through the makeshift cloth I had to use. I prayed no one would notice, but then it happened. One boy saw, then the other. Before I knew it, the entire classroom erupted in laughter. My stomach twisted in shame, my eyes burned with unshed tears, and I wished just for a moment I could disappear. It wasn't my fault. I didn't ask to be born a girl, but in my home, we were 6 children and other relatives, we struggled to survive. Buying sanitary pads was a luxury we couldn't afford. My mother, qualified teacher, still used cloth because there was no other option. Eventually, I graduated to using 1-ply toilet paper, but it was never enough. It soaked through within minutes and forcing me to sit still for hours, afraid to stand up. Some of my friends had it even rough. It was even worse for them because they used newspapers, feathers, old socks, and used cow dung. Yes, cow dung. Pasted onto the white fabric, left to dry, then worn as a protection. Can you imagine the smell, the discomfort, the infections? Some girls were so desperate that they sold their bodies just to buy sanitary pads. We had dreams, but period poverty crushed them. We had potential, but humiliation held us back. And for what? For something we never chose, something as natural as breathing. Enough is enough. Today I stand for the girl who has felt the same shame, pain, helplessness. We are launching a project Restore Dignity, because no girl should suffer in silence. No girl should trade her innocence for a sanitary napkin. It brings tears in my eyes when I say it every single time, because we don't know how to echo what we are saying. I feel ashamed every time I go into a bathroom. I find condoms, I don't find sanitary pads. I get mad when I get into the library because they are sitting and studying. So when you study and it comes, it does not alert you that I'm coming. So it gets me mad when I get into the libraries that there's no sanitary pads. So for me, the FlourishHer team, the future dreamers, we want to see sanitary pads in every bathroom, in every workspace, regardless of the fact that the adults have money to buy. Don't assume, because we don't know their constraints.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then in different areas that these girls are located, you may not have access to be able to go and purchase. So having that supply, I think that that is ideal for any woman, period. I mean, no, not any pun intended, but anyone should have to figure out where they're going to get their next supply from, you know, and it's because it's a natural biological function, and people treat it still right today as something taboo. Treat it like it's something dirty. Treat it like people don't like to talk about it. So these are things that we can enlighten the communities, because, you know, women are always kept secondary. Women's needs and women's rights are not always honored. They want to put us in another category or control us, where we are going through a natural, your periods are just like having a baby, a natural biological function. And so for us to be able to talk about it without any stigma, without any shame, without making us feel that we're doing something wrong, when it's something that Mother Nature controls, and there's nothing that we can do about it other than go through the process. And also looking at your story, her story. And I know that there are a lot more other details that you can share with us, but I wanted to kind of look back and go over some of the questions that we are going to present before you, but the collaborations, and I know you mentioned them earlier on in the show when we first started, but can you be more specific when it comes to, I know that Ms. Debbie, you talked about teaching the girls, the ladies, skills, job skills, career skills. When it comes to mentoring and education, can you be more specific to tell us how that would, how we can collaborate, or how you collaborate your business world with the growth and mentorship program? Miss Debbie, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to. Okay, so as Ency stated, that she's already has a program that's been ongoing. You know, whenever she has the girl, I want to put together a program, basically, so it'll fit and work together with what she's already doing. You know, just to enhance their choices, I may say, like, so give them options so that they're not stuck with just the basic or settling for basic jobs. They can think outside of the box and become, you know, self-sustainable and eventually do the same, you know, pass those same skills down to friends and, you know, maybe their kids one day, but give them other chances to become like entrepreneur and help
Absolutely.
themselves to, basically help other people just the way they've been helped, so
Absolutely.
reach for another one, pass it on.
And I can see where that would, excuse me one second, but I can see where that they could be even become mentors to their younger siblings or other young ladies in the community. You can give them, you can teach them, each one teach one, so to speak, that concept.
Exactly.
They can come to become mentors themselves,
Right.
for the younger ones. And even they can teach us more mature women some things too as well, I think.
Yeah, truly.
I learn every day. It's a learning, as you go, it's never enough. Financial literacy is important for everybody.
But the exciting part, Jenny, Penny, what we're doing, there's 8 aspects of everybody's life. And we talk financial, we talk social responsibility, career, and otherwise. Those 8 aspects are never spoken about or echoed enough. We normally say if we teach the youth the 8 aspects initially, like we are doing the 12-week program, that we teach the youth the 8 aspects for them to understand their purpose, for them to understand that there is balance in life is very, very key. Because we are planting seeds so that they have direction, so that we're building their mental health. The other side of period poverty is a lot of people get depressed when they go through their cycles. So that's why we fit in mental health. We fit in Debbie skills of financial literacy, because they need to have a relationship with money from a young age and understand money. So for us, we are correcting, to be honest with you, we're correcting the errors of our past and making sure that the youth takes great disciplines to the future. So we are redirecting them to say, if you do these things, you can have a brighter future.
You can have a brighter future.
And then what we did, we collaborated with a lot of skills development facilitators. So if you're a skills development facilitator there, plug in with us, because there are people in the community that don't know what they need to be doing. They don't know their purpose. Plug in with us so that we can develop the youth. And then when it comes to entrepreneurship, we collaborated with a lot of trainers in entrepreneurship. Our partner in this one is Bootcamp to Boardroom, where we train these entrepreneurs from purpose to financials to pitching. I mean, it's a whole series of events. But to bring you back, we are saying that there's a lot of collaboration that takes place, because we cannot be a master of everything. Our point is, we are going to manufacture, we are going to distribute sanitary pads in tier 1. But the rest, we are working in collaboration with everybody to say, let us nurture and look after the girl.
That's wonderful. And go ahead, Miss Debbie. Go ahead.
And we'd also like for those who can give to collaborate with us, just to help us to be able to have the equipment that we need so we can get this mission accomplished.
Yes.
So,
So based on the manufacturing needs, and I know that the equipment to be able to manufacture, can you tell us what it would take to do that? What type of equipment is needed, or what do you use to manufacture the pads?
Urgently, we need the manufacturing machine and the packer. So we need 2 manufacturing machines and 2 packers. So that will cost us roughly about $60,000 to $70,000. Just for those 2, 4 machines, 2. And why we're saying that? Because one of those machines produces 150 pads per minute. So our target is that 2 machines, the other machine can be both can be pumping or both can be backup.
Absolutely, absolutely, wonderful, wonderful. And just knowing that the economic aid that would assist those in giving them work putting money back into their economy and things of that nature. Those are the type of things that we all can relate to, in knowing that if you give, what's the proverb? You give a man a fish, you feed him one meal, but if you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And that's the same concept that we see in life. You know, you can give a person something, but if you teach them how to create their own, this will just give, it's a generational kind of thing that you can pass on from generation to generation. And I think that's marvelous. I think that's wonderful. So I would like to go back. I'm trying to switch between my screen and going. I didn't print anything out. I just wanted to go to so y'all kind of work with me. I'm kind of looking at about 3 or 4 different things here.
Yes, we're with you.
But I'm multitasking, okay? But
Yeah.
just know that the education, the mentorship, the community development, and then you're focusing on fostering the personal and professional growth that the foundation provides. I know that you said you just started up in 2024. How old is the organization, or how long has the organization itself been around, FlourishHer?
So FlourishHer is about a year. We've just recently acquired our 541c3 certificate, and that's why we stand up and we're aggressive. But FlourishHer is standing on what do we call this? On shoulders.
Shoulders.
It's on shoulders of my previous organization, which is Ubambano. So Ubambano was looking after entrepreneurs and supporting women and girls in their endeavors. So we are not just startup. We're not a pure startup. It's a startup because it is FlourishHer, and it came with a different concept of manufacturing and ending poverty. So yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. So I hear that you put a different twist on it. You added to what was already, you didn't create the wheel, invent the wheel, but you just improved the wheel. So with the manufacturing twist, I'm hearing that now that was another concept that came with your part in joining the organization. That's marvelous. That is magnificent. I love that. I love that. And so just so to our audience, we would like to, and I know we still have a few minutes, and I would just like for you to give out your information to our audience verbally. I'd have it in the comment section, but give us your website, give us your email, a telephone number, and any social media that you can relay to our audience verbally. Miss Debbie, would you like to start with us with that one?
Sure. Our website is flourishher.org, and I'm going to spell flourish because it's different spelling. It's F like Frank, LOURIS, like Samantha, H, another H, letter ER. So it's 2 H's in there. .org. So it's flourishher.org, and that's FlourishHer with 2 H's. And when we spell our name, FlourishHer, the second H and the last E, it says HE, because we are not only, even though we're focusing on women, we'd also like for the men to join us in unison. So that's why the HE is there. Yes.
I saw that, not to interrupt because I want you to continue, but I was thinking as you all were talking about your mission and your purpose, I was wondering about, well, how can men or boys, or is there anything in there for the males to be able to assist, or do we have anything for them? So you really answered that, because I saw the uppercase HE and then the little R. So now you were reading my mind. Thank you so much. So
it's intentional. Yes.
I see where you're going with that. Yes. Awesome, because it was in my mind to ask, well, what can men or boys do about this to help? Go ahead. So you can finish with you gave the website, any social media or phone number or email address that you want to share with our audience.
Okay, so yes, we do have, other than that, we have Facebook page, and we have a LinkedIn page. We're still working on it. As she said, we're fairly new. So we're trying to get it together, get our footing together with our new organizations, a lot of moving parts. But yes, we do have Our phone number, you can reach our Florida office at 772-672-0833. I'll let Ency read her phone number for South Africa.
Yes, South African number, you start with a 27-83-23-50859. And sadly, our other director is not here that normally does the interviews. His name is Litsoane. You would find that on Instagram, you can pick up his details on Instagram and on the website. Our website is www.FlourishHer.org.
Great. Thank you so much. So what else can we, that we can partner? How can we partner? And I know you mentioned how the name was derived to include the male species to help with these female issues that we're trying to solve, and for the males to get involved. I do thank you for being able to include them because we can still learn a lot in our education to men about women's issues so that they can be aware and they can train their young boys and mentor young men to help them to understand, as well as the reproduction process, what the periods do, what they're for, reproduction and so forth. And, you know, children are going to be children, but when we educate them to understand that this is natural, this is a natural biological function, and to have, so girls and young women will not be ashamed, but you have some, us mature women, we're still put in a shameful area. You can't mention the word, you can't talk about it, you know, certain settings, and we just need to wise up. We need to man up,
Right.
woman up, to be able to put what we need out there for the FlourishHer Foundation, because where you are creating a sustainable impact by encouraging self-reliance, building a brighter future for our women and girls globally, to know that it's not just for certain areas of the world, certain countries or certain continents. We should be able to take this and make it as global as it is. Because I was looking over the website, and you gave us out your website as FlourishHer.org. And as I was looking at all the different cultures, the ethnicities that were there and how they are global, I think that it's wonderful for the way that we are able to include everyone in this mission.
Yes.
And so as far as I know, we can go to the website to donate. Can you give us any information to our audience for their donation efforts to assist?
Sure. For only $20, like I said earlier, and I think, you know, we take for granted here in the United States, you know, $20, we can give that, you know, we can buy maybe a drink or just, you know, that's lunch or maybe breakfast. But for someone who's in need, who can't afford the bare necessity of sanitary napkin, you know, it means 1 year's supply of sanitary napkins, you know, so we just, we would just love for, you know, for someone to get whatever you can.
Yes.
You know, we're trying to stop that stigma, get rid of the stigma. And like I said, we are including the men. It's very purposeful because men, they have wives, which is a female. They have daughters who, you know, go through the same cycle. So we need to remove this, remove the stigma. And we're all better together anyways. So we would like for the men to join us, women, men, whoever, whatever, you know, whatever you can, help us to get this thing, the ball rolling, and put an end to such, you know, or making it, you know, try to get some help for people who need it. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to thank you, ladies. I want to go to another area that we haven't kind of tapped into, and as Ency was mentioning about the guest house, because I plan one day to get to South Africa. I've been to other parts of West Africa, and it's time for me now to venture. That's on my list before I leave this earthly home here. I want to come to your community, your area, your country, Tell us a little bit more about your about the I don't want to mispronounce it. I tried to break it down before the show, you know, to know how to the Rato House. What is it? The Rato Holdings?
Yes, Terato Holdings.
Right, there we go. Okay.
Terato Holdings.
Yeah, I'm messing it up already, but can you tell us a little bit about that, if it's okay, if you want to share?
It's all right. We have 9 bedrooms in Terato Guest House. We are growing. We are going to be growing Terato. We are preparing for expansion, but it is a home away from home. You would love the food. I think for me, what the feedback that I always get from them when they visit our place is that, oh, the food was amazing. So we know how to cook the traditional food. We do a lot of traditional soul food. Really absolutely enjoy. And we are 15 minutes away from town. We are 5 minutes away from Canal Walk. So we are central, 15 minutes away from the airport. So when you come down, I'll be your host, darling.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Because when I travel, it's good to meet new people, but if you already know someone too, it makes it a little bit more personable. So now I know I have a home away from home, and trust me, it's going to happen soon. I'm already speaking it into existence. Okay.
Looking forward. It was a great experience to host the Atlanta Black Chamber team. They were all hosted by us in our space. There were 8 of them. It was an absolute pleasure.
Wonderful. So are there any upcoming activities or events or anything going on that would, or just coming any time of the year is good, or when is the best time to visit?
I think I would say March is another best time because there's Jazz Festival is back. And then from August right down, it is great timing to really be there because there's a lot of things that are happening. And look out for we call them Indaba. There's a lot of conferences that we have that are based for businesses. I always talk business. I must stop this. It must be all about fun, eh? I always talk business. There's a lot of conferences that take place and now and again, like Mining Indaba, Tourism Indaba. Tourism Indaba's May. That's my favorite part because we get to meet people from different parts of the world.
Wonderful. Sounds good. Miss Debbie, while I was reading your profile, your bio, you're from Jamaica.
I was born in Jamaica.
Okay. Well, what part of Jamaica?
Okay. I was born in Kingston, but my mom, I moved to a different part. Of course, I know myself at 4 years old. I grew up in Portmore in St. Catherine, Jamaica.
Okay. I've visited Jamaica also. I love it. I'm country, okay, so I call it Negril, but I know some people call it Negro, okay? But I've come through Montego Bay to go to the west side of the island for Negro, correct? And I love it there. So I love the sun. I just love the weather. And so for me, when I had my first trip to go to, I've been to Jamaica so much now, that was almost my second home, but going back to, I want to come back to the motherland and go to other areas outside of the West Coast where I've spent most of my time in Ghana and along the coast where the slave castles and all those things are. We came off of the tourist I don't like the tourist trail. I like to go in to meet the people, the real people. And, other than just being, and nothing is wrong with being on the tourist trail, but I like to go and meet the locals and people and fellowship with them and learn a lot of things. So when I was in Ghana, I had a chance to go to Kita, the Aubrey Gardens, the coast, just all along the coast. My church, we also even built a school, a church, and a medical clinic in Accra. And so over the years, I've had the opportunity to do a lot of mission work, and we still partner with them, World Power Ministries. And so there's a way that we can connect to help with the mission work that you do in where you are. or around the world globally. So I'm going to talk more with you once we leave the air to get a little bit more information to see how we can partner to network. Because, you know, people call it networking, but I think you build relationships in order to improve your relationships. And so I come out of the networking realm to go into relationships and partnerships, collaborations. And I think that's wonderful. I'm going to reach out to Miss Winter Avery. She's in college now, so I reach out to her mom to see about the products that she was making available to young girls here in the States and here locally in Atlanta. But she did that because of the manufacturing, the differences in those that you buy in the store than you buy those that are made specifically to kind of not harm the bodies. So I just love this dialogue that we're having, and we're going to have you back. Even once you get back to your home, your respective homes, we can always set up a platform as we did for this show today, because I would love to talk more to you about, and we can do it individually, or we can all Zoom together. I know we'll be on different time zones, but we can make it happen in whatever time zone that we would need to. So I'm just looking forward to just furthering this conversation. So is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience before we get ready to wrap up for the day?
I think on my side is just request collaborations with the corporates, with the churches, with the nonprofit organizations, because I know that once we lock arms with those different stakeholders, we can all grow in an amazing way. So we need just a seed capital from our partners. Just the seed.
Okay. I'd also like to add, there's a fourth member of our team, Chrisette. She's hosting us here in Midtown Atlanta. So we have a place to stay whenever we're in town. So, and I love Atlanta. So I'm always here back and forth. She's also done the website for us. So I just want to say shout out to Chrisette. Yeah. Thank you. And we appreciate you, Ms. Pennye, for giving us this opportunity, because we really would love to bring awareness to FlourishHer Qhakaza Foundation.
And to add, she is our executive director as well here in Atlanta. So if like now, when I can't meet you, you will meet Chrisette. So that's why we have those young girls doing the work. So the youth is running around with us. We're transferring skills in that way.
I love it. And I think that's where we should be able to bridge the gap between the young ladies, us middle-aged ladies, and even the seasoned ladies. We can bridge all those generations together in order to help each other. And so I think that the work you're doing is wonderful. I really commend you on your for the vision for you to do what you're doing to help others, to help others, to help others. It should go down the line. I help you, you help me, we help them, they help someone else. Each one, reach one, teach one. And so if we all take that concept into mind, I think we all should be able to get the job done. I think it would be something that would be here from here on out. You got the manufacturing going, you have a bigger factory. You only want 2 machines right now, but that can turn into 20 machines. That can turn into more.
Sure.
So, and to keep in mind, it made me think about grants and grant writing. And do you have a grant writer that would be able to do things to help you write grants to get funding? And see, that's another area, because I have done WCEG as a nonprofit. And that's why I say that, because grants would really help with the need. And I think that would be another way to look at. And there's a lot of grant funding out there. You have your nonprofits, you have your for-profits, nonprofits, but you do have other organizations, angel investors, crowdfunding, all these different types of ways that you can get the community involved. Think about that. Keep that on your to-do list. I know you're just starting up, but it's going to take a minute for it to catch on and to grow. But I just see it growing and flourishing. Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, we do need the awareness, and we want to make sure we spread it, because we know, like Ency's story, and it's not a poem. it says her tears were silent. It's happening globally. It's just that not everybody's speaking about it, and it's not easy to talk about publicly.
Every day is happening every day, all day. So I just want to thank you two ladies for taking the time out of your schedules. I know we all were going in various different directions, but when we and we have some Queen Valencia Stobal, who is over in Nigeria at this time, she's tuning into the program. And so while she's there, I'm going to have her to reach out also as well to share information about FlourishHer and to maybe see what's going on over in Nigeria before she leaves, coming back home to the States. So Ms. Valencia, thank you for listening in to us today. This is an international platform. And ladies, I think that we have something started here. We have this platform that I know God did not give for me to keep it to myself. So what we would like to do is let's start today with this broadcast today, our first broadcast with an international twist in regards to FlourishHer, WCEG, and Valencia, your organization. Can you put it in the chat for me right quick so that I can share that over the platform? But she's listening in. And so I would like for us to collaborate and we come together because we are all or report hers, HERS. I'm not going to say report hers, report hers.
Yes.
We're going to use this as a platform to begin today, to use platform for us to come together internationally, no matter where we are. If you have other ladies that you would like to invite in, no matter where they are in the world, we'll get together on getting our time zones coordinated and together. But we can also make this a start today. Her story, history, her story.
Thank you. We love it.
FlourishHer, flourish. HER.
Yeah,
So
yes.
the men folk too. We don't want to leave the men out.
No, we're better together.
But Valencia is saying that it's great work that you're doing, and we want to thank you, our audience. We're going to continue to share this platform even after we leave this program today. But I want to thank you all. And if you would give us your website again, just before we get ready to sign off, we have your website. And I see another one here that you gave us about the donations, about Zefty.com.
Okay, that's the website to donate. It's on the QR code. If you scan our QR code, it automatically takes you to our donation website for you to make a donation. And like I said, as small as $20 or whatever your heart will allow you to give. We appreciate all donations.
But as you donate, just think of it that 1 in 10 girls are suffering from period poverty, lack of equipment, lack of sanitary pads.
Amen. Amen. And I want to thank you, ladies, for sharing your story. We are we're at the end of Black History Month, but we know Black history is 365 days a year, 24/7, okay? But we would like to also close out the Black History Month and go into our Women's History Month, which starts in March, on March 1st. So we have combined both. That was the genesis behind saying, how can we tie this into something that people are already familiar with? And so sharing your story, her story, our story, and including the gentleman in it as well. I think this is a way for both of us to work hand in hand together to solve a global problem that we all face, that all of our girls and women face any time of their lives. So we want to thank you, our WCEG audience. Thank you for tolerating me again. People don't normally see me. I'm behind the scenes. But I said, these ladies, they must be something special because they're pulling me from behind the camera and putting me in front of the camera. And I want to thank God for Mr. Lionel Woodyard for putting us together. And I told him he's going to be our liaison, because if it wasn't for we just met a few days ago, a couple of weeks ago, and it was something about his spirit that drew me back. I was on my way out of a restaurant and I saw this gentleman sitting there, and I normally don't I was call myself in a hurry, which I was trying to get to work to start producing more shows. I'm just going to tell this right quick. But the Holy Spirit said, go back and say something to this gentleman. And I did, and we struck up a conversation. We've been talking since. And we have so many people that we know mutually, whether it's in-state, out-of-state, internationally. And look at this divine intervention. We call it a divine intervention. And we want to thank you for being able to come on such short notice. We pulled it together. We pulled it off, ladies. So you know we can make this work, okay? I love you. It's always a pleasure to meet other entrepreneurs, shepreneurs, and sharing our stories with each other. I want to thank our WCEG audience. Thank you for tolerating me today and welcoming our guest here today, Miss Ency, correct?
Yes.
And Miss Debbie. We want to thank you all with the FlourishHer Foundation. Go to their website, www.FlourishHer Foundation.org, correct?
Yes.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for tuning in to WCEG. We are the Worldwide Community Empowerment Group. You can like us on all social media platforms. Alexa, you can tell Alexa to play WCEG. We even have our own free mobile apps that you can download and listen to WCEG. We're on 12 podcast distribution platforms. We also have Roku, cable channel. God has just grown this platform, and this is our 10th year.
Wow.
This is year. And we are in 180, registered in 180 different countries. And I know I'm forgetting some things, but I just want to thank you all for joining us, and we can collaborate and bring other ladies to our international platform, radio and television. We thank you, WCEG. We love you, and we look forward to serving you in the very near future. Thank you, ladies. I love you. Have a safe trip back home. And when you come back to the States again or come to Atlanta, please keep my number and let me know.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm gonna call you guys. I'm gonna call you ladies when I'm at your place, okay? I'm on the way. I'm gonna let you know, okay?
Yes.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
There's nothing you can do about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, now I gotta learn how to sign us off, so just bear with me a second. If you want to screen share and put your flyer up one more time, we can put that up again. If you're, if you want to put that up one more time before we go off, we have about 2 minutes left. The hour went by fast, okay? It goes by pretty fast. And my puppy is getting a little antsy. I think he's trying to tell me something here.
Can you see us?
Yes, fund a girl. It will take, you can fund any amount, but you can also know that $20 will go a long ways, $100 will even go a longer way, and even more will go even further. So always consider donating to this organization. You see these beautiful ladies here. They're here with a mission and a purpose, and we thank God for you. God bless you, and you take care.
Thank you.
Okay, and when we sign off the live stream, can you stay there for me for a moment, because there's something else that I would like to do with you before we